What the hell just happened? Just what the hell just happened? Hi everyone, welcome back to another analysis video. Today I'm going to analyze everything that occurred on episode 10 of Higurashi Sotsu. Those who have seen the episode, you know things got a whole lot interesting. I was actually expecting for Tatariyakashi to end this week, but apparently we still have one more part left. For this episode, we got even more answers and a shocking revelation that I did not see coming. But it totally makes sense now, especially all that craziness that happens in Negodamashi. So let's get started. So the episode starts on June 17, where we see Oishi dumping a lot of garbage around the Hojo house. When Teppei sees this act, he of course gets angry, but it's mostly on himself. He blames his past actions have caused pain to the family he loves most. And this is where things start getting interesting. We see some warmness inside Sadako's eye, and then we see some cracks. Remember how I stated in my last analysis video where we see Sadako's guilty expression and how I compare it to being the last embers of her humanity? Well, this is it. Those cracks clearly represent Sadako's humanity, trying to break free. We then jump to Keiichi's side where he has gathered a crowd to protest against the CWS for delaying Sadako's rescue. Of course, they get the same response of wait and see. However, this doesn't discourage the club, especially Rika stating that if they don't work together, they can't make miracles happen, something that she learned from Keiichi. After this, we then see Oishi arriving at the festival planning meeting where he's analyzing Keiichi's actions and words. He believes that Keiichi is being manipulated by his friends and that the village is using the Hojos as an excuse to band together. Also, we learned that Oishi is using Keiichi as a pawn to get to the culprits behind the curse. June 18 comes and this is the day where Sadako is rescued. After the CWS agrees to rescue Sadako, Oishi and Kumagai escort the social worker to the Hojo house. The real reason he decides to escort the social worker is to prevent the village from chasing Teppei out of the village as he wants him inside Hinamizawa onto the Watanagashi. But before they arrive, we see Sadako cooking a nice dinner for her uncle, and we continue seeing more cracks, symbolizing once again Sadako's humanity trying to break free. Once Oishi, Kumagai, and the social worker arrive, Oishi has Sadako explain the situation. With the social worker knowing the truth and not knowing how to handle the situation, now that the Sonosaki family is involved, Oishi suggests for the CWS to transfer responsibility of the case to him. Before leaving, Oishi asks Teppei to stay inside his home tomorrow as the Watanagashi is approaching and believes that he might be the next victim. Sadako then calls Rika to inform her about her rescue and Teppei's arrest. And as she's talking, we see that Sadako drugged Teppei with many sleeping pills inside his tea. After Rika mentions that she's finally going to be free, Sadako chuckles at her words as her red eyes glow brightly. Then the day we've all been waiting for. June 19th, the day of the Watanagashi. We first see Keiichi and Rena meeting with Mion and Shion, thrilled to see Sadako and spending the Watanagashi together with Rena stating that tonight is going to be special. After sleeping for nearly 2 days, Teppei wakes up only for him to go outside and vomit. To make matters even more upsetting, Sadako complains about him waking up at a bad time as Rika is on her way to pick her up. When Teppei re-enters the house, Sadako asks him about what he thinks of the little time they spent together. Teppei's response is so beautiful and innocent as he states that he enjoyed it dearly, knowing that he didn't deserve it after all the horrible things he has done in the past. Satisfied with his response, Sadako points the gun at him and shoots him. However, she misses. As this is happening, we see those red cracks continuing throughout the scene, and we also see something so interesting and disturbing that just left me baffled. Sadako, the innocent and human side of Sadako, is fighting for control of her body and desperately telling his uncle to get away from her. As this fight continues, we continue seeing all these cracks representing the battle for control, and finally it shatters. The next scene we see is completely shocking. It's Sadako against Sadako. Or better yet, witch Sadako versus human Sadako. Human Sadako just had enough and wants to stop, as she doesn't want anyone else to die. She says that she's not Sadako and to give her back. Witch Sadako refutes her words, as she states that she's living in loops to ensure Sadako's happiness and that she's Sadako. She even remarks that she's just the embers of an old fragment. With nowhere to run, Sadako is at the mercy of Ewa and with Sadako. And this is where things get even more disturbing. Ewa uses her powers to erase her emotions, which Sadako points her gun at human Sadako and shoots, thus killing those embers of her humanity and winning control of Sadako's body. Upon winning, she shoots Teppei, and she doesn't stop there. Sadako grabs a bat and starts beating Teppei's corpse. This scene is very interesting and answers a lot of questions to what happened here. 1. This scene looks identical to Keiichi's scene where he's beating up Teppei. This answers that what Keiichi was seeing inside that room after being hit by the bat was a hallucination. 2. As Sadako is getting covered in blood, she must have taken a bath to clean the blood from her body, as we see in Go, where it reveals that Sadako was never being abused. Also, this explains why she's wearing different clothes. Also, I noticed in Go, where Rika picks up Sadako, she doesn't let her inside the house. Not to mention when Sadako lured Keiichi inside, everything is in darkness. What I'm thinking now is that when Keiichi enters the house and tries to turn on the light, Sadako must have hit Keiichi to prevent him from leaving. Once he enters L5, he just beats up Teppei's corpse. Since Oishi is keeping an eye on Teppei, he must have entered the house, saw the bloodbath, entered L5, and took the bat as he makes his way to the festival. But I wonder, what causes Oishi to start blaming Rika? Something must have happened inside the house. After all, Sadako was still inside there. Also, after seeing human Sadako's defeat, it explains why Nekodamashi is just so brutal and disturbing. With Sadako's emotions no longer there, Sadako just wants to speed up the process into getting Rika to give up and disregards who ends up getting hurt and killed, as she just doesn't care. I wonder what's going to happen for the next episode. I'm so excited. Anyways, thanks for watching and I hope to see you for the next episode.